for marketwizards.com and eminywizard.com. Just about 11 o'clock on Monday, the 25th of February. Reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose if you're playing this game. Squeeze continues, and I think that we can get the 12.5 plus today target. Possibly that 1575 to 16 area. And when the market came back into that 5 retest, I said a lot of times this is where you've got to be very careful because it's still a range type trade. We still have moving averages rising. Obviously, the red line going to come in and kick in here on the 5. There's our 15 Globex. Still working. 10 was still working too. Said I think that 02 is our support. We can see how we pulled into that line yet again, and we've got the push and the squeeze. And this was what I was looking at when I said I think we can get 12.5 plus. Don't know how much more. I'm not looking for a huge ramp, but sometimes you get the feeling there's a megaphone pattern. And that's what I was thinking, that if we came down and held, then the game plan could be to come up and complete the megaphone pattern right here. So T1 has been achieved at big target at 12.5. And anybody that's coming into that 15 to 16, that's the next resistance that we're considering. And we said good possibility we won't be playing whack-a-mole, meaning higher highs, higher lows. And as long as the 02 was intact, 02 to 05, that zone was going to be supportive. Anybody that's had a good run this morning, and this is the type of morning you don't always want to play both sides, but if you miss one side, you could probably try the other. And this one right here, this sinker, that's just this little bit lower low, confuses traders, but still, we were still having those traders trapped above the 02s, where I think the squeeze is coming from. And again, I was not thinking that we're going to get a great big pounding up. I think hit and run, however you're playing, anybody that has played the long side, keep an eye on time. It's 11 o'clock. Do have an IB breakout, but I'm still thinking very soft breakout. I'm not thinking for another big pounding up. But I do believe in what I'd said earlier, that we're still looking at that 28.25 going, and I still think the boys there's an agenda. And those RTH charts that I showed with all those gaps, just incredible. You know, these are your gaps. Here's a gap. Here's a gap. The market has been levitated by these gaps. You know, here's our 62, 63 support intact. Here's a gap back here, 43.75. The boys have come a long way with this nonsense. Here's a gap back here. We've gone over 100 points from that gap. And that was February 12th. I mean, that was only about 2 weeks ago. Just squeeze, push them up, squeeze, push them up, squeeze. And Zeke's got gaps going back to 900. So this is why, you know, I saw Anthony Crudelli made a post about trade what you see, and everybody complaining about the market. You don't have to complain. You just have to get in sync with the direction it's going, or take a small contra where you think profits are going to get taken. And I'd be the first one to agree. Man, how can you just keep doing this? Well, we've seen it before. That's why. So you have to think like a bot. You have to say, here I am. I'll risk my 2 points. I think it's going to go a little bit higher. And if I'm wrong, I'll take my stop. Don't worry about the bottom of the pool because you're not going to let it fall all that way. You're not going to go to the bottom of the pool and stay there. The lifeguard's going to come in. That's your stop. The lifeguard's going to say, hey, come on, I got you. So realistically, you can enter anytime you want in the market as long as you're disciplined and willing to take your stop. That's the point of this message. In addition to show how the targets have started to come together. And those of you who are looking on the spreadsheets, we had said WT2 was 1475, 15 area. So by all means, be relatively conservative with your targets upside right now. So that's where risk and reward comes in. Can we get that 15 target or not? And sometimes the problem is you have to suffer, 3 or 4 points, even more, to get that extra 1 or 2 points you want. And that's the challenge of trading. So that's why you use smaller time frames to try to judge. Do you have a little bit more room, and can you squeeze higher? And sometimes you just get what you want and say, okay, it's good enough. I'd rather have that in my pocket and I'm not worried about what I'm going to miss. And that's a valid thought, especially from a conservative trader trying to get 4 to 5 points per contract every day.